for staying with us. So Friday, 11th of October, worldwide, is the day set aside to celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child. The theme this year is Girls' Vision for the Future. The theme conveys both the need for urgent action and persistent hope, driven by the power of girls' voices and vision for the future. Joining us now to discuss this is Nonye Cally-Bechi. She's the Director of Communication for the Motherhood NG Initiative. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, I mean, all our kids in school are getting ready for 11th of October, Girl Child. They told my girl to come in a nice dress. My girl said, Mommy, I don't have a dress. So you gotta find a dress. But tell us this year's theme about the vision for girls' future. What do you make of it?
Okay, so like every year it gets better with the theme, and I'm particularly impressed with the theme this year. You know, it's usually in honor of United Nations International Day of the Girl Child. So this year's theme is Girls' Vision for the Future. Girls' Vision for the Future. So what is it? You know, how do you empower girls? And for us, you know, what we have is in line with this year's theme, which is how do we empower these girls? You know, but we have something special. We have a core project that we are trying to run this year. We call it Teenage Wellness Project, Teenage Well Project. And what's this project about is actually what we do is usually go to secondary schools, talk to young girls, you know, share what we have, because we notice, you know, in Nigeria alone, that it is estimated that 37 million women and girls suffer period poverty. What it means is they do not have access to affordable sanitary wares. So our goal is to go to schools, but for us, it's in three prongs. One, you distribute those materials, sanitary wares to them, and two, educate them, and then career counseling. That's what we do basically for those girls.
37 million.
Yes, estimated 37 million women and girls suffer period poverty.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
And period is necessary.
Every month.
You can't escape period.
You can't, as a young girl.
Hey.
So let's talk about the
And
things.
37 million, that's a...
The things that you
Nigeria alone.
that limits, because you said you're talking about, you know,
Yes.
girl wealth.
Teenage wealth.
Teenage wealth. So what are the things that limit young girls in advancing, career-wise, education-wise? You mentioned the period. I remember period can be, you know, dilapidating or limiting for some girls because they can't step out.
Yeah.
What other things? How does, you know, their sexual choices, all of those things, how does it feature in?
Okay, so why we're particular about this, like from the estimate I said, and it's even in the UK, for instance, about 49% of girls stay out of school during their period. One, it is the pain. And then in this part of the world, there's what we call period shaming, where because you're in your period, one, you do not have access to sanitary wares. What they do is they skip school. And when they skip school, it affects them. And you know that period poverty, you know, it leads to those urinary tract and reproductive infection that girls suffer. So you don't have a good toilet, some of them in school. So they have reasons. So many, like I said, the reason one, okay, they look, especially public schools, those underserved communities, because we are particular about the underserved community. So they look around and like, oh, we don't have a good toilet. And then when I go to school and I don't have the proper sanitary wear or pad on,
I get stained.
I get stained. And when I get stained, either I get bullied or people shame you because of that. So they would rather stay out of school for those period of, for those days that they go through their period. And it affects them. And their overall well-being, for instance. So you're not going to school, you have poor hygiene in your school, even the environment most of them grew up. It affects the overall well-being of the girl child. And it affects, of course, like we said, subsequently in life, we know the damage that can cause to them. So it's a whole lot of things. And what we want to do is let's reduce it. Let's see how we can distribute. If you use pad like we all do, there was a time that even for an average person, somehow, I would say it's affordable. But now, you know how much it is to just get one. And even when you get that one, it might not last, you know, for how many days, depending on your flow. So most
yeah,
people
reach
don't
menopause.
even get a very good one. So you just see them, you know, with that kind of thing. And they say some use clothes, some use tissue. Those things are not hygiene. They affect them. They affect their well-being. Yeah.
As much as I hear you, I totally agree with a lot of things you said, but sometimes we just label all these things. These are things that we all grew up with.
Yeah.
Situations where
Managing
we found a way to just, we went to boarding houses and we didn't die, but now 20 years later,
See, me, I did not go
they're
to
calling
boarding
it
house, so-
period poverty or period, you know, they're giving a lot of
No, it's serious. No,
Listen, I'm not
your
disputing-
experiences are
Listen,
very.
I'm not disputing it. I'm just saying that we label these things now and make it a big deal because somehow we're able to help girls to become, I don't want to use the word resilient, but they find a way around it. So it's wrong. They should get access to sanitary towels, totally. But I just feel like all these Wimbo names just
Mushy.
just mushy. Listen, you find a way to sort yourself
Life is
out.
life.
It depends
Life
on
happens to
it depends on the flow.
But I
My
have a
experience for
question.
period was
Yeah.
not. It was almost like we know what she's talking about, and the information was not adequate.
Yeah.
Information was I was expected to find it normal, and it was limiting. Imagine that you have a flow as heavy as what, and your small body, you're sitting somewhere, but what you have dropped, he cannot stand up. You know, and
Yeah,
there's no
you're right.
period
Yeah.
Sanitary pad that was made for that kind of
Heavy
flow
flow,
yeah.
at the
Right.
time. So I did not have.
Experiences vary.
You know, another thing that we also discovered, we have, because we've interacted with these girls, and we had a story of someone, one of them walked up to us and said she was raped because she needed money for pad, and she approached a guy to say, help me. I need, you know how it is, boys really, they bully these girls with the state, especially when you don't do it properly. I know growing up, we use all the wrapper, we pad ourselves and all of that, so you don't see anything. But the truth is, they don't have enough education out there about some of them just, it depends on your upbringing and your growing up. Some don't even have that necessary education on how to take care of this. And she was eventually raped because she asked for, and the guy promised, you know what, every month I am going to supply you pads, sanitary wear if you need it. I know in the course of that, she got raped. So these are the issues.
Real life issues.
Yes, real life issues that, and we said, why not help these girls? One, for us, we want to educate you, and we want to, if we can. We've reached out to about 2,000 girls and more in the past, but we want to expand and reach out to more girls.
So that brings me to my
Yes.
question. Are you collaborating with some of these companies that manufacture these pads? Because I know they are very expensive. The project is capital intensive. Are they people who are willing to fund what you're doing to support you? Have you reached out to them? Do you have people you're working with already that will make it easier for?
We have one or two we're working with, but we need more.
Okay.
So we need more people to come on board, partner with us. And if we have, so we already have the number of schools we want to visit this year, this Friday. So we want more. So if you're asking and you get, you can only afford or get pad for 50 girls, 100 girls is not enough. We want to this year say, okay, we're reaching out to 3,000 because we have outlets. We have in Akure, we have in Abuja, we have in Lagos, Ogun. So we want to reach out to as many as. So we're looking for partners who will come to us. These girls out there, they need it. You know, so many of them. So we're looking for such partnership.
You know what comes to mind, YK, is that this is part of what we were talking about earlier. Projects for the first ladies.
Yeah.
These are things the first lady can say, you know what,
your
in my
head did
state,
Imagine
all the girls in my state, we are
have
going to have
access to
access to
sanitary
this.
pads.
And all the bathrooms in our public schools are going to have a machine that dispenses where every day or every day there's somebody
only that,
replacing.
a proper hand wash.
You have to, there's got to be something. So
Proper
it can
water.
be somebody's pet project.
Exactly.
Because NGOs, many private people are doing their best in their small base. But the first ladies have the capacity to do
Yes,
much
to
more.
expand it.
Expand it.
To get
So these are some of the
private
things that we
partnerships.
need help with. There's a lot of work left undone
The first
that we
lady was
need
a
people.
whole
the
lot.
sanitary towel
Company.
They
Yes.
will not,
They won't hesitate.
they will not hesitate.
If you know that, okay, XYZ Sanitary Pad is partnering with Edo State government to provide sanitary towels across.
For all
And
the Edo girls.
I'm telling you. So these are kind of the things that we need.
In my own school, my secondary school, what is the women, we the women now, that contribute money and supply sanitary towels
See?
to
your
the girls.
Because it's girls' school.
It's a girls' school. Yeah.
It's really it's
so
crucial.
If we can do that, I mean, first ladies can.
Okay,
it up too.
so
Do
the
wonders, but
focus
I'm
of. Sorry, ma.
Go ahead.
I'm going to.
No, I was going to ask. these, oh gosh, sorry, go on.
We understand, right? We understand.
It's the age.
But it is
Go soon deck you. So the focus of this year, you know, was about raising their awareness. Do you do the sex education with them?
Yes.
Because one of these things we see in my secondary school experience, you know, of girls, the knowledge online now, sexually, is something else, and a lot of people are just exploring. A lot of these children are exploring. How are you using the opportunity of your, engaging them to inform them on, these decisions?
Okay, so like I said, it's in 3 parts. One, that distribution of the sanitary ware is just on one side.
Yeah.
The other one is sex education. In we call it comprehensive sex education. Tell them everything they need to know. You know, sometimes we just sit and assume that we have enough information out there, but how many people have access to this information?
Quality information.
Quality information. Because in the undeserved community, in the workers of our NGO, you will be amazed. You think we are all there, we know all of this.
Sorry to cut you off. Let me cut you off a bit, because this sex education thing, I don't think we know what we're talking about. Because I registered my daughter for, unfortunately, I think I registered her for like 2 or 3 classes. And the girl is like, Mommy, I have schoolwork to do all this, and she's overwhelmed. So I sat into one of these classes where they were talking about sexual, and it was just so elementary. I mean, something you tell a 5-year-old, and she's 12 years old, and she's thinking, what are these people saying? I mean, the kids have gone, where their minds are is different. So when you talk about education, sometimes I don't know what kind of education are you giving these children, because they have their mind, they already understand. But you are coming to, you know what, don't touch me. Tell a man this is my body. Then and I'm thinking, uncle,
that's on the
surface. So what's the quality? I think Nima said it, of this sexual education, because we need to face the reality that our children today are exposed to TikTok. YouTube, they know. Instagram. You are not trying to reveal anything to them. What you need to understand is how to condition that learning to be positive. I mean, so what kind of training are we really giving these children?
I saw one 15-year-old girl on Instagram.
Okay.
I just packed myself. I kept quiet.
Wow.
I'm saying. So it's a conversation.
So for us, we have made it very detailed. You know, sometimes because you want to distribute, you go and do 15 minutes talk. 15 minutes talk to these girls is not enough. And that's why it should be something that if we have all the time, just like you mentioned your daughter, oh, I have work to do, so I don't have all the time for this. And we don't go because we know that they have knowledge. 5-year-old girls know. All those don't touch me there, like you mentioned, they already know. So those ones are at the surface level. It is those very deep conversations that you tie to their future that will help them make informed decisions about their life choices. Those are the kind of deep conversations we have with them in the form of counseling and mentorship. That is what works. But if it is those don't touch me, no, everybody, even 3 years old, know that. Yes, again, yes. To make it holistic, now you have to involve the boys. Because we've had cases where it is the boys, because of the way the boys will make them feel. So when they are in their period, they will not show up. Because you have some nasty boys who are looking out for, do you have a stain? I know you are in your period. They make those comments, period shaming those girls. Yes, period shaming. So they do all of that. They do all of that. That's why these girls stay out. But if you educate the boys alongside the girls, it helps. So everybody understand that this is where we are going. You can't do this to these girls. You know, once they have that understanding, it makes it easier for the girls. And that's our goal, majorly.
So this sanitary towels, is it just the public schools? Because the private schools, I think the parents have money to buy them. So is it just the public schools all over Nigeria?
Underserved communities. Those communities where you go to and you know that some, January to December, girls have not seen a pad. Those are the kind of people we're reaching. It's not those that can have. There are some that don't even know. And some, you have the other religious and cultural beliefs around it, but that's on one side. But for us, we have those girls that have not seen a pad because they can't afford it. It's just like what we do in some of our maternal, motherhood program that we run. You will see women who carry pregnancy for 9 months and they come to the hospital, they have no single item with them. for that period. So you see them in those communities and you're wondering, pregnancy is not 1 month, it is 9 months. How come that
You were not able to prepare.
you were not able to prepare, not even, nothing. When I say nothing, like they come like that, it is nurses sometimes that we even use their wrappers and everything to help them. So that's how bad it is.
I
And
saw
these are the
someone
kind
that
of
came
people.
deliberately like that.
Yeah, why?
Sometimes they don't even have
So that
what
they
to
can
come
pay
with.
for this procedure for her.
So let's start
Yeah.
with the theme for this year. So what is the global
Theme,
focus?
girls' vision for the future.
that mean?
It means that you will continuously empower, educate these girls, mentor them. If I recall my secondary school, I remember people coming then to talk to us. And then I know how it made us feel and how we turned out because of the things, you know, that we went through, you know, because these people came. So the whole essence is go out there, reach out to this girl, empower their vision for the future so that they can see the big picture, they can understand that their dreams are valid, and then they have a place in the future. It's talk to them about what they can become in the future. That's the whole goal for this year, girls' vision for the future. We want to empower them for the future ahead.
A little snack there.
Yes.
We have a lot of people doing empowerment for
Yeah.
girls.
Okay.
And sometimes I feel like our boys are being ignored.
Left out.
Because when all these girls are empowered, who do they meet on the streets? It's the boys. And we already have that issue now. You see, at certain levels, the boys seem not to be making any form of sense. Their brain, no they there. But the girls are already knowing too much. They're already ready to conquer the world. So is there any way that you could probably balance it out in such a way that the boys are not left? I know you're called for the girls, so,
Yes.
but the boys at the same time have this information. They are not left out.
Yes, we do, but it's not our focus.
Hey,
Okay, when do you focus on boys?
exactly. Plenty of
We
them don't
will,
focus on
Because
girls.
your
as I said,
motherhood
for this
age-
education, yes.
Okay, so what, is there a time of the year for
Mother,
boys?
we have, okay, so we have project for 1st to 5 years for young people. Our focus is maternal girls, but we also realize over the years that we cannot talk to the girls alone. We should talk to the boys.
Boys as well.
So we don't just get to go to all girls school. We try to look for mix schools where this guys,
All of
these
them,
boys
their hormones are
understand.
raging.
Yes, what we are saying.
Their body is doing them, man.
Okay, you know, you should get into that project because they will listen. Those boys will listen to you.
Which boys?
Boys,
Why is it me they will listen?
They will
Why
listen
will
to
they
you
listen
because
to
you are the daughter of Fela.
Why will
You are
they
Fela's
listen to
child. They will just assume,
you are Kabash Orun style. Why would they not listen to you?
They will listen to you. They will listen to you. Why can't you enter
I don't understand.
power. They will listen to you.
She too, she's a kabasho. She's
She's like Kabash Orun now. They will listen to her too.
You are Fela's child. There's no way you enter a secondary school for boys. They will listen to Ike. Don't talk to them. They should calm down. Their hormones should calm down. With the girl. Yes.
Before they use their hormones on me.
They're always going back and forth. But one last thing, you know, one of the things I mentioned earlier that I suffered heavy flow and I didn't have
I'm
to.
tired of Sophie.
One of the things I would really love to see in schools is proper toilets and proper water. There were days that you could have just washed up, you have seen pads, but the stain is there. You are looking for water
cannot
to
wash.
wash up. You know, as basic as that, how many of these schools, when you visit, do you see this? And how much more is it needed?
That's very key
School
because
today.
it's one of the reasons why those girls don't show up when they're in their period.
God bless you.
And it's the
still
reason
having
why they don't
trauma
show
from
up.
my school
Where there's
toilet.
no privacy, there's no proper toilet.
telling you.
So they would rather stay at home, manage themselves at home, you know, period management, that come to school. If I've tried to remember my secondary school too, except for maybe privates are doing well, but public schools.
I still have dreams of
governments
my
need to-
secondary school toilet. Yeah.
As I'm saying it to you, I'm remembering that
Traumatizing.
sometimes we have to go and look for a place.
Will they use bush?
Okay, let me
Exactly.
wrap up on that because I think today's show.
I agree with you.
Today's
Proper
show
toilet, yes.
is a message specifically to the first ladies
Yes.
of
Yes.
all
In every
governors of the
capacity.
state in this country.
Yeah.
Including first.
This should be your project. The toilets of the girls' hostels. The toilet in public
girls'
schools in your
The
states.
capacity of the sanitary towel, the availability
Availability.
of the sanitary towels to
Affordability.
be an affordability. God bless you. That should be your pet project.
Yes.
We
GDA.
need more of them to come out and focus. And if you're already doing that, let us know.
Yes,
So we can help
visibility
you
is
with
important.
capacity
Yes,
and give you more publicity because we need these girls to have this kind of protection.
We can talk about it more on the show.
So they need
Yes.
NGOs like us.
NGOs
to
like
partner
us.
with.
Yeah. Partner
Because we
with.
are reaching out to those people. So
Very
partner with
crucial
us
because
so we can reach them.
BC is still traumatized.
From my secondary school
Thank God, I
toilet.
did not have that kind of secondary school. I thank
No,
God.
you went
But
I still see it in my dreams. I'm not
you're
joking.
traumatized. You're still seeing it. You're
Yes,
almost
after-
50.
There was a day I hid in the bush near the toilet in my school, only to find out I was sitting on soldier hands.
Well, did they bite you?
Of
that
course.
bite the place?
Yeah, thank God for Corona. Oh, hey, thank you, God. I went to
What
Really,
what
so
a
we're
life.
looking forward to First Ladies
Yes.
come out.
Yes.
It's not whether it's available. We have companies that
go.
are ready to produce. It is affordability.
Yes.
Some of them don't, they cannot afford it. And that's why we're trying to give it out to them
That is
free.
all we can take on today's
Yeah.
show. Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you
And
so
I
much
think
for
hopefully
having
this
me.
show
Thank you,
is
ladies.
more a reflection to many of our first ladies out there who love to carry designer bags. So please consider supporting the girl child as we look to October 11th as the Global International Day for Girl Child.
In fact, we would
That's
love to welcome
all
about 2 or
we
3
can-
first ladies on the show.
and
Yeah.
tell us about pet projects.
Yeah.
That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.